So let's talk about the Rep AB-4100 adjustable bench. This is found on Rep's website. It's been out for several years now. It currently retails at $399, and it's been at that price for a while. Just some basic stuff about this bench. It's 17 inches tall, which I believe to be the IPF height standard. So powerlifting, 17-inch high, flat bench, that's what you're going to get out of the box. It has multiple adjustments from flat all the way up to 85 degrees, which isn't quite 90, but it's pretty much imperceivable. I'd say that overall this bench is pretty sturdy. It rocks a little bit just because of all the adjustment it has, but on the whole, like, it's very sturdy construction. The welds are very strong. The powder coating or paint or whatever it is it's held up. I've had mine for almost a year, and it honestly still looks like it just came out of the box. The fabric holds up quite well. I'll regularly drop dumbbells, easy curl bar, whatever. I'll drop it right on the surface of that, and it's just holding up like a champ. So overall, like, you're spending $400 and you're definitely getting like a quality, I would say a lifetime piece. There's certainly some cheap benches out there on Amazon and whatnot, and I've used one or two of those, and this thing is an echelon above that. I wouldn't say this is a $1,000 road bench with all the decline and all the fanciness on it. It's just not at that price point, but you know what you're getting into. You're spending $400. This is something you're going to be comfortable with for 5, 10, 20 years or the rest of your life. Like, I do not see myself buying another bench ever again, 100%. So unless you do a lot of decline work, you're going to be just fine. So flat bench, incline bench, shoulder presses, it does it all. It's a fantastic bench, and I cannot recommend it more highly. So in order to do a seated overhead press, you're going to have to tilt the front part of your chair as high as it goes, and then for the back part, you're going to have to set it to 75 degrees. You might be able to do 85, but the problem is with the height of this backrest, at least for me at 5'11", I can't tilt my head back to clear the bar coming down. So putting it at 75 degrees, it keeps my head back just enough to where the bar passes right in front of my nose and there's no clearance issues. I still get a really good pump in my shoulders, and it doesn't really feel like a high incline bench like you might think. It actually feels pretty good on the delts. But you could try it on the 85 and it might work for your anatomy, but I feel like for most people, you're going to have to do this on 75 to do a seated military press. When setting this bench up for an incline bench, what you'll find is that most gyms, your incline bench is going to be set at 30 degrees. And so when you set this thing at 30 degrees, it feels pretty comfortable. The one thing is the angle of the butt part doesn't go as steep as like the standalone piece of equipment at the gym. So it might feel a little weird at first because it almost feels like your butt isn't digging in as tight as it would be on the dedicated incline bench press, but it's really not that bad. It tilts up enough to keep you from moving around, and I'd say overall it performs its function quite well. This is in the standard flat bench configuration. It feels just like a whole bench press setup where it's all one piece of welded equipment. So this thing isn't too high or too low to where it gives you a weird, foot placement and leg drive. But I'd say it might be slightly wider than the stuff I've used at commercial gyms, but it's certainly not enough to really affect anything. And again, it can't be that much if it is. I've used wider benches before, but this feels great. The mesh, or whatever this fabric is, it's kind of like a rubbery sort of mesh, is what it feels like on your fingers. And it really grips your back. So when you're really digging in there for that heavy bench, you're not going to slide around. You don't have to chalk your shoulders and traps. You don't have to worry about falling off the thing when you're sweaty. So for flat bench, this thing is absolutely excellent.